It's a career defined by hard work, resilience, and giving back. Lawrence Guy has never been the flashiest nor most heralded player, but what he's accomplished is nothing short of incredible. After 3 years at Arizona State, the defensive tackle bounced around the NFL for a couple of years, putting in the hard work before becoming a longtime starter with the New England Patriots. It was a stint that earned him a Super Bowl ring. Perhaps more importantly, he made a massive impact off the field and in the community. From sharing his journey with learning differences to the great work done by the Lawrence Guy Family Foundation, he embodies everything a Sun Devil is meant to be. On this episode, we discuss his football career, how he went from special ed classes to a scholar baller, the drive behind his community service efforts, his role with the Big 12 Alumni Council, and so much more. So let's get to it. Here's my conversation with Lawrence Guy. All right. So what I like to do with these is have the first question given by a former teammate. In this case, the great Bo Moos. This one he assures me you'll enjoy. So during your ASU career, the D line was considered the most rambunctious group, we'll say. How did Mr. Clean, aka Grady Stretz, keep you all contained?
We had a roll. We had to roll 1,000 yards on the field when we misbehaved. And it got to a point where I'm not saying young men coming into college during that time, it was a unique thing. We're trying to grow. So you have your mess-ups, right? You missed the 5:30 left, or you just missed 5 minutes of a study hall. So we had to run stadiums. Well, when he realized stadiums didn't work, because they're like, well, you guys enjoy this. And I'm like, no, we got to be out before a certain time to get to class. He made us roll at 5:30 in the morning and roll 1,000 yards on the thing. And it was crucial, but like people understood you couldn't do it except for those people that were good at rolling.
How were you on the rolling?
I did it once. I was like, this ain't for me. I don't think I made it 1,000 yards. I think I made it like 800 yards, and I just got up and I was like, I got to go to class. It's just taking too long. But it was one of those situations. It was a unique time in the program, and we did the best with what we had. We had a lot of great personalities, a lot of big personalities there through the whole team. So we grew up and we learned from that situation, which is amazing. If you look at the different dynamics of those young men at that time, and I think each and every one of us had a monumental moment there. Like that moment changed us, and it gave us insight of how the opportunity was to actually be at the university.
Awesome stuff. And we'll dive into your career here in a little bit. But one of the things that's bringing you out is you're part of the Big 12 Alumni Council.
Yes.
So how did you kind of first get involved there, and what's your role in with
to
the council?
be honest with you, Bo Moos, it was the one that introduced me to it, and I got it involved in it, and it's pretty much just trying to help out the future athlete, the sponsorship. So we get to know about the sponsorships coming up, the TV deals, what's going to be on what. We just got an email to attend the quarterly a meeting, which they're going to hold visually, because there's a lot of different people throughout the country from different aspects of sports. But in reality, we're just trying to improve the Big 12 from a program and from a student athlete basis.
What are your thoughts on just the move? Of course, you played a time in the Pac-10 and all the history there, but obviously a new horizon for Sun Devil athletics there.
Well, I think when we looked at the evolution of it, right, we got to grow. We can't stay stagnant. So I think the Big 12 move was so good for this university, because we're able to bring more money in, we're able to bring more sponsorships in. It's a better place for athletes to compete against other big schools. I think the biggest knock against the the Pac-10 was you only played the Pac-10. It's like, well, you're playing Oregon, you're playing this. You never really got to see the SEC teams, never got to go out with the Texas team. So now you had that diversity where we're going to go, we're going to play. You see, we got the talent to match up to the bigger schools. And that kind of got knocked to the side, because when we were playing, it was all about USC. It was USC, Stanford had that little run. Then Oregon, of course, had a huge run. But it's still, when you went up to the bigger teams, you lost in the bigger games. So it's just one of those things that, well, now you can have a showcase of who's who now. It's you're part of this conference, you're part of the lower conference, no lower conference. Everybody has a competition. I think it brings great viewership overall to everybody.
You mentioned one of the goals of the council rather is kind of setting the stage and helping prepare these student athletes for the future. So much in college athletics has changed over the last
Mhm.
couple of years, and let alone the last decade or so. What do you feel are the most important factors for student athlete success, just general, as we continue to chart this course in the new college athletics? The house settlement is coming any day now, and who knows what else is coming.
Well, I think when we dive into college sports, we got to look at the human there first, right? And when let's just talk about football itself. When you put a helmet on, pads on, right? We don't get to know the person under the pads. We just say, okay, you're a great player, this and that. I think nowadays what they're doing is they're stripping off those pads. Say, who are you? Let me help what you're going on to be a better young man or a young woman, and we're improving the mental health aspect of the game. Where before it was a lot of hard knocking, like it is what it is. Deal with yourself off the field. Come on the field. Do what you got to do. Go to class. Come out to class. It's just pushing it through. I think nowadays with athletics, what we're doing is we're trying to make better people. And once you get better people, you get a better product at your university in a sense of they're going to mentor people. They're going to bring people in because they're amazing to be around. Their grades are going to get higher. It's always a good thing when you bring genuine energy into young athletes, and they will give you genuine energy out, because a lot of people come from certain areas where they're trying to get out of their situation, and this is supposed to uplift them. And I think nowadays we're uplifting everybody we can and doing it the best way for they could achieve anything they want to achieve. I'm not saying they might go pro, might not go pro, but at least they got the opportunity. If they don't make it pro, they have somewhere to go after that, not to say, well, I just played a college sport and I'm just doing whatever. They have this opportunity to grow, go into businesses, network, and develop into good young professionals.
With that focus on kind of the person under the helmet, what is it like seeing your son of a program now under Kenny Dillingham place just as much importance on the person as the player?
I think the energy is amazing. We just ran into him earlier today. The energy was great. That's what you want. You want somebody that has that high energy, that cares. I just heard a thing. If there's an altercation at practice, you got to learn that person's history, what he came from, everything, and do a report in front of the team. All that tell me is you bring building a brotherhood there. Because when you come to sports itself and in football, it is a brotherhood. I'm gonna spend more time with you than I'm gonna spend with my family. I'm gonna spend more time with you than I'm gonna do with that person that I'm in a relationship with at that time. Sports in itself is a home, and we can't ignore that, right? It grows, it develops you, but that brotherhood of sweat, tears, and blood that's on that field that you can continue to do it, it's amazing. And that's what he's bringing back. I'm not saying it wasn't here, but you can see that the umph of it now.
Hmm.
The energy there. It's amazing to be on that field. Like being out there today, watching the young guys go out there and practice, you can see the energy that they're enjoying it. 95 degrees outside, and they're just sitting there effortless. Just whatever you need me to do. The offensive line needs to run back to the line for the on the one on ones. They do it. You can see the fun in their eyes, and it's like we're having fun playing the game, and no, we're having fun playing with this opportunity to play the game that we played as kids.
And of course, having fun's one thing, but also getting those wins is ultimately the most important. And they did a lot of that last
A
year.
lot of winning.
How fun was that? Just watching your alma mater just make that run to the
It was
playoffs.
great. Scatterboot. It was great. Um, you like I said, you saw the years before, you get to see how the growth of it. Winning is winning. I don't care what you said. No one wants to lose. Losing sucks. But I'm just glad they had the success that they have, and I think they have a bright future if they keep the same mentality. I know there's some losses that they're going to occur because they're moving on, but at the end of the day, when you have a good core, you always want to push out a good product.
You were out there today, as you mentioned. So what were some of the impressions that you saw when watching these reigning Big 12 champs in action on the practice fields?
And like I said, I saw the fun. I saw the energy of wanting to get better. Some people when they get to a certain place, they get stagnant. They're like, "Well, I don't want to push myself." No, they're trying to push themselves. They're trying to make sure that their teammates are pushing themselves. That's what you want in a team. I can't predict the future and say, "Oh, they're going to win this. They're going to go back to this." But what I can say is they put in that work every single day, and they have a chip on their shoulder to get back to where they were to win that game, not just to be there and not to and understand like there's opportunity here with a young group of men that They have a core balance that is great, and they have a team that is great. They've got to strive to be even better than what they were.
So of course, Kenny Dillingham, ASU alum, Graham Rossini, the new AD, also an ASU alum. What value do you think having that attachment to those key leadership positions and having those Sun Devils leading Sun Devils has?
Well, I think it's always great to bring people home, right? Um, when you think about it, you get a job. You're like, yeah, I got a job here. I'm gonna move out to here. They wanted to be here. They're like, this is the team I want to coach for. They strive to come back, and that's what you're getting here. When you get someone that strives to come back to the university because they want to be here, it changes just getting the opportunity to coach. And I'm not saying that what happened with other coaches. I'm saying you could see that they wanted to be here. They wanted to grow this. They wanted to come home, and that's just what you see on the field. You see that in the energy and the prep rallies. You can see the passion that they have because this is who they grew up watching. I grew up watching this team. I want to play for this team. Why not be able to coach and lead this team?
So you mentioned him a moment ago. Cam Scadaboo, obviously was able to leaves a big hole in this team right now. But when you look at him and everything he was able to do last year, what do you expect to see from him? The draft's coming up right now. Where do you think he fits in?
I wish him bestest luck ever in this journey he's taken. It's a journey because it's a new chapter. Like I said, I don't have no crystal ball, but I hope he gets picked in the perfect spot with the perfect team, and he gets to enjoy that experience of going into the league. It's a hard one. Don't let anybody say it ain't difficult when it's a big transition. It's a lot faster up there, but I think he has the heart and the guts enough to go up there and give it his all. And I think he's going to have a long career.
There's a couple other Sun Devils that making that jump up. The Leaf Fatanas, the Shamari Simmons, that are probably projecting to kind of be in a late round, maybe a UDFA. As someone who was a late round pick themselves, what kind of advice would you give them? Kind of that struggle of not necessarily be the glitz and glamour of that first round pick,
Mm-hmm.
but just kind of coming in on the hard way into the NFL.
It's not about the round. It's about what you do in the league. I played 14 years, and you'll see more people play as long as I have from the later rounds because you have something to prove. There's something you have to build, right? And when you're going in there, yeah, you might get sixth, seventh round. Like we've have undrafted free agents from this university that have made it so far in the league. It's about what you do when you're there. It's not about how you get there. It's about what you do when you're there. And I think we ignore that, right? Because we get, oh, he's a first round. There's a lot of first round bust.
Mhm.
We could pull up a list of
Yeah.
them, how many first round busts they were. It's about having an opportunity to be in a next level, and even getting in the door for training camp is a blessing because people want to just get there. So if you're able to do that and do some years, you're winning, right? Winning just getting in the door. It doesn't matter first, second, and on free agent. What changes is the money. That's it, and we understand that. But if you there, you made it. Now let's build that legacy once you get there.
What do you think helped prepare you for coming in with the Packers ultimately bounced around for a little bit, but then ultimately being able to put together as you mentioned a 14-year career?
Well, it's just one of those things. Is I got hit with the politics of the league, and I understand that, right? You got high draft picks. Coaches want to plan out, so they're like, well, they'll put you on the back burner, and I unfortunately I got hit with that, but that didn't stop the grind that I put in, and it showed. And when you look at the people that were on the teams at that point and where they are, and when they stopped their career, and when I continue, it's a different mindset of, hey, I'm going to prove a point. I'm going to build my legacy. I'm going to become something that most coaches did not think I was going to be. But it wasn't that I didn't have it. It's just I didn't have the opportunity. And that's what you really want, is the opportunity to showcase. And when I had the opportunity, I grew and it built and laid a seed down where my legacy was being written. So that's, like I said, it doesn't matter how far you go. It's just the challenge that you occur, because you're going to have challenges. If it's injuries, if it's new coaching staff, or if it's like, hey, we just don't get along, you're going to have that challenge. But what your goal is to understand that and overcome that. There's always going to be a mountain to overcome, and you have to be able to put your hat down and do everything you have to do. I tell kids all the time when they come in, it's about being ready when you're called, not messing up on a play, technique sound. And when you have that, you'll become so successful and be reliable.
I'll go back in your story. Obviously you had great success at the prep level, the top rated recruit coming out of high school in Nevada. A lot of schools coming after you. Why was Arizona State the right place for you?
Gene Boyd.
Mhm.
Um, the academic staff of Gene Boyd, he had a plan set where he was going to make sure that everybody got in school and got through school. And I'm not saying that universities out there don't have that, but he had one of the better ones out there. And as I went through it and went through my list, and I was talking to my brother at the time, and he was like, "What do you think academically would be best for you?" And I was like, "Arizona State." I didn't. The journey was going to be the journey. If I went to Tennessee, it would have been okay. It'd have been there. If I went to Oklahoma, it would have been there. It was a simple fact that I knew for me to succeed, this would be the best university, and Gene Boyd was the force behind that.
What was it like playing for Coach Erickson? Obviously, a guy pretty good resume on in his career, and then he had a great first year in Tempe, and then some struggles and some highs and some lows after that.
That's just the nature of the beast.
Yeah.
You're gonna have some good years, some bad years. It happens like that. You can't name a team that had great years, right? Like I was in New England, we had great years, but then soon later you're going to take the toll of it. Players are going to leave. Players are going to get hurt. I think it was a great experience to understand what that Hall of Fame coach was able to coach at that time and build that knowledge from him. Personal was a great person, so I can't say, well, these years were bad, these were good. I've been a lot of good years in the NFL, and a lot of bad years in the NFL. So it is what it is. It's the nature of the beast. But my time here was a good time here.
What were some of your favorite moments while during your time in the Maroon and Gold?
Oh God, uh, the Territorial Cup when was the last year I was here. We blocked 2 field goals.
Yeah.
What was James Brooks was amazing. From there, and I think coming out that tunnel every single day,
Mm.
like it was a different experience in Tempe. And if you ever played in the stadium, you understand when you come out that tunnel, the lights are on. Clearly, it's at nighttime because it's hot, and you could it's the atmosphere of it was amazing. I love the grass they play on out here. That speed turf is great, but it's just the memories that you build from practice, to the stadium, to the training table. It's those memories that you'll never forget. Um, you run into players you haven't seen in 10, 11 years, and you pick back up where you left. And it's one of those things that is so unique about football.
Yeah.
Like when I'm saying that brotherhood lasts forever, and not just something that it occurs and you just walk away. No, you see that person, you pick right back up. You left off. And I think that starts when you're in that locker room, and you're in those meeting rooms, you're in that weight room, grinding it out together.
So of course, you played in the pre NIL era, but if the NIL existed back in the day,
Oh God, I wish it was.
what Tempe spot would you have wanted to have an NIL deal with?
Yeah, I don't know. Give me the NIL deal. I'd be rolling in the money back then. Like, geez, I'd be in Scottsdale. Give me a little condo there. But this is it's all new. All these condos and everything is all developed here. I didn't have none of that. So it's the uniquest thing to see how much the development is. That's part of that Big 12. The development of the university
Yeah.
is gained so much because of it. But I wish I was in NIL era. That'd have been amazing.
Yeah. So like Devil's Advocate or Chuck Box or something like that. One of those old places.
Oh God, I'm telling you, like they sponsor me free food. Like back then, like give me a Subway sandwich for free every day. I'd have been amazed.
So during your time, after you left and went on the NFL, who have been some of your favorite Sun Devils when you check back in with ASU football that over the years that you've really enjoyed watching?
Oh God, because you have to see what I did. I followed my ex teammates a long time, enjoying watching. Like I enjoyed Scatterboo, I enjoyed DJ Foster, Jamil Douglas. I watched all those young guys. Nikhil Harry. Like
Yeah.
you get to experience, see what they're doing. Um, but it's one of those. It's more like I like seeing them when they come into the league, and they're expressing, understand there's somebody else there. I like I said, I tell people I'll never forget the day I ran into Terrell Suggs when I was his teammate. I was like, bro, I had to see your face every single day of my life. Like it's amazing. I spoke to him before on the phone, but it's just that recognition of like, hey, this is amazing experience to actually be in front of you and talk to you, be your teammate. Because you we might not watch everybody that's on the collegiate level, but you understand what they went through when they get to that pro level, and you got that immediate bond and back and forth conversation.
So yeah, you mentioned earlier that kind of the politics early on in your career and just coming in throughout the league you did, but bounce around those early stops before kind of you really found your stride in Baltimore. What did those early years kind of maybe teach you? How they prepared you for ultimately when you found your groove and ultimately becoming a Super Bowl champion?
Well, when it comes down to those early years, you're just trying to look for genuine people, and I got it. I understood the business very early on, and I got to understand what was going on. Every piece of politics was laid in front of me, and I got it. Then I have genuine coaches that will come up. Don Johnson was a really great coach for the Chargers, the D line coach, and he literally sat me aside one day. He's like, "Look, this is what's being said. This is what's being said in the meeting rooms, and this is what's going on. And it's not you, it has nothing to do with you. It's just what they're looking at and they're thinking that like this is what the dynamic is." And then when I got to Baltimore, Clarence Brooks did the same thing. And it's just one of those things you're like, I'm blessed to have that opportunity to actually get to go to Baltimore and they give me that chance, right? And I get that for Jared Johnson, who gave his name on the line for me to go there at the time. And I tell him, I said, "Bro, I said, you're the one that did it for me. I don't care what anybody says." But being there and then them giving an opportunity, that doesn't mean I didn't have the politics in
Mhm.
Baltimore. There was politics, but it's you're overcoming them now, right? So you're looking for the opportunity. Once you get it, you have to take it and run with it. And that's what I was able to do. And I'll never forget the day I looked at John Harbaugh after that first year I was there. I said, "Give me a year and I could show you what I could do." He gave me 2 years instead. I'm like, "I just needed a year, John." But
Yeah.
it's one of those things you just understand the process. Not everybody's gonna have a great process of it. You only either bounce around the beginning of your career or at the end. It's only a handful of people actually stay on one team the whole career.
So obviously, yeah, you found your stride with the Ravens there, and with T. Sug. And as a Steelers fan, it pained me a little bit to see the success that you guys were having. It's such great defenses there, but then of course making that move to New England. What was it like just playing for Coach Belichick and just in that culture, and then becoming such an integral piece to a championship team.
It was amazing. I tell you this, like I've seen so many people retire on the first 2 weeks of training camp with Bill, and you're like, "Why?" I'm like, "It's difficult, it's hard, but it's meant to be hard. It's meant to push your body to a limit to overcome, right?" And that's what he does. He's gonna challenge you in the meeting room to make sure you understand your film. He's gonna challenge you on the field to make sure you can become the better player that you are. And if you're up to it, you become a great player. And he can see that. So he was always able to find free agency. He's a defensive coach. And he's like, "I know who to pick because I understand I can see there's development. And I know who I have in my coaching staff. I know what we could get with them. And you could potentially be a really great player," as he wanted to make sure that everybody was great. It didn't matter who you were. It's a thing called low lights. You get a low light, he'll pull that thing out and say, "What were you doing right here?" He had no problem questioning you in the meeting room on a Monday morning. Do you know your opponent? Where did they go to school? What is he known for? Who is his coach? Who is the offensive scheme? What type of scheme is it? Is it a West Coast scheme? How many plays are script? What do they do on the third down? Is it a waste play? If it's a waste play, do they take shots? Do they just get the first down? If they're backed up and they just dump it for a screen? It's just one of those things that your notebook had to be in line. You have to understand because that's how you win. And doing that is experience from that and being having the opportunity was amazing because I became so much better at football, but I was able to see people grow during that system. And it ain't meant for everybody,
Yeah.
but you was able to see the people that bought in and they grew from it and became really great players.
How did it feel to finally hoist that Lombardi trophy? And,
Oh, it's dope.
yeah.
Nah, that's cool. I got a big ring too. It's super cool. It's one of those things. It was a special moment. I won one and lost one. Let me say, I lost one, then won one. Let's just be real. So, and I remember I broke my thumb in the third quarter against the Philly game.
uh,
Like right in the third. Bob snapped it, and I put it back, and I taped it, and I finished the game. And I was like, "Man, it'd be really cool if I won and I had a broken thumb. I could tell a cool story behind it, and I lost." I said, "Now I got a broken thumb and we lost." I'm like, "God, this is gonna be a terrible story." He said, "What happened?" "I lost and broke my thumb." It'd have been cool if like I lost, I won and broke my thumb. I'm like, "Oh, that's super cool." Nobody cares if you broke your thumb and you lost. But being able to win the following year was great. Me and my daughter kissed the Lombardi Trophy for everybody.
Oh, nice.
It's one of those pictures that'll live in my memory,
Mm,
and I hope she'll understand it. She understands a little bit, but she'll understand later on in life
yeah.
how big of a moment that is. But it's a great experience. That teammate was never going to be the same after that. We had the opportunity to go 2 years in a row. They went 4, but they had the opportunity to go 2 years in a row when I was there, and that doesn't happen normally. It's hard to do.
Yeah.
So those players sacrifice, those coaches sacrifice to get to that point. And like I said, it was amazing experience overall.
And you weren't just excelling on the field, but off the field as well. The Lawrence Guy Family Foundation, has been given back. What's been the root of your kind of mindset to give back to the community?
Um, when a person is in need, don't look around to find someone to help them. You help them. And that's always been the root. We do everything personal. It's a personal thing that affected me or my wife for us to get to do the donations. If it was the giving backpacks and school utensils and haircuts before the school year to make sure they started off the school year great, if it was giving turkey, beds, washers, and dryers to families to make sure that they had a good Thanksgiving, or if it's donating jackets, gloves, and food on Christmas to make sure everyone in the cold, warm, and had something to eat, or if it was through the baby shower that we do, where we make sure that moms are having the utensils that they need for the first 2 to 3 years of life. It's just something that you understand, like you see it. Don't wait. Don't be the factor that say, I'm gonna wait till somebody do it. You do it because you're gonna be impactful to somebody's life. Somebody was impactful to all of our lives to get to where we are today. Be that person. Don't wait in the background and say somebody's gonna come and do it. Nobody's gonna come to do it. It has to be you.
So, I understand there's a new partnership that the foundation is working with right now.
Yes, we're teaming up with the Joe DiMaggio NICU, where every mom in the NICU is going to get the essentials that they need um, on the 8th, right before Mother's Day. Um, it's one of those things that we were in the NICU for 8 days. I understand how that felt, and we wanted to make sure that we did something impactful for them to understand we're there, we hear you, we've been there. And I think that's the most powerful thing about the NICU. When you're in there, you understand it. You always support people that are in there. So that's what we're doing, but they could get those essential needs from there. But that doesn't stop what we initially do at Joe DiMaggio. Every Mother's Day, me and my wife donate flowers and teddy bears to all the moms on Mother's Day, but they can have a special moment with their child.
Awesome. Does the foundation have a website or ways that people can learn more and perhaps help out?
LawrenceGuyFamilyFoundation.com. You could look out there. You could donate there. You can see everything that's happening and what come up in events. Like I said, the baby shower is probably the biggest one that hits more home to what we do as a core, because we just want to make sure that those first 2 years, whatever outcome that happens, that you are succeed. You're there to succeed. And I'm not saying we're getting this simple stuff. No, we're giving great items that I will use at my house. That we're doing the same thing for them. Like I said, all the information is at LawrenceGuyFamilyFoundation.com. You can find all that stuff. My Instagram, that L guy, um, gives all that information out, where you can see what upcoming events, the planned events, and when they're going to be held. Like I said, it's a unique experience that I'm blessed enough to be able to do that. But I tell you this, and I like to say this: if it ain't going to be you, then who?
Mm.
And I said, it might as well be me. I lived it, I experienced it. Make sure nobody goes through that same experience that you had to go to.
And your career's kind of been defined by resiliency, overcoming the odds, and even it goes back to childhood and with the learning differences. That's something that you've been very vocal in trying to help others. What was that like? Just trying to grow up and ultimately, I understand like your father was such an advocate for you and trying to
Hmm.
get you the resources that you needed that ultimately helped you get on the right path.
Well, my dad was a huge resource for me. Um, he pushed doors down. He did everything he needed to do to get me where I'm at. Um, I think in today's sense is it's not only that he did what he did, I had to be willing to accept what was going on and push through that. I think we all have some resilience some way in how in life. And one of those, and after that first challenge that God gave me, like, hey, this is what it is. You got to do this. And we did that. And I think me and my dad did that together. And even until I got to college, I got diagnosed with dyslexia when I was 21. We didn't know, but it changed a lot around because there's different programs out there. There's different ways that you'd be like, well, you just didn't know you was tracking a little bit, or you didn't have the proper testing to do this. And when I share that story, I hear the same feedback. They're like, I had no idea, and I'm like, look, it's not. I said, this is not an issue. It's just sometimes you're gonna flip some words. Like it is what it is, but it might take you a little bit longer to read a book. It might take a little bit longer to take tests just because you might flip a word here and there, a letter here and there. It's okay. It doesn't mean you can't do the work. You're going to do the work. It's just it might be a little bit longer. And I felt like he gave me that motivation, him and my brothers, to continue. And I said, it's okay. It is what it is. You're getting the grades. You're doing this. It just takes a little bit longer. Don't look down on yourself because something's a little bit different than somebody else. Everybody in this world is not a traditional person that goes to the school, sits in the desk, to read a big book and spit it back at you. It's just reality. So, like I said, when I talk to kids and I talk to adults about this, I'm like, hey, it's one thing in life that is a little bit different than everybody else. Try to get the help, try to find the resources, and do the work the best you can to make sure if you see somebody else doing it, share that knowledge also.
And of course, ASU had some resources that you took advantage of and you put
Yes.
in the hard work as well. Ultimately, getting that scholar baller recognition, the patch on the jersey, how
Mhm.
gratifying was that journey to, finally hit your stride in that regard?
It was amazing. I tell you, one of the biggest people that helped me out during that time was Josh Gordon. Josh Jordan was amazing for me because he was that person. Like, hey, I can help you with this. Um, and being able to get that was amazing because you don't expect it, right? I wasn't expecting to do it. I know I've had some bad years, and I'm like, this is some bad years, and not years of like 2 bad semesters, um, where I'm like, I don't want to be in that position and lose this opportunity to improve my life. I think I was telling somebody earlier today. Um, when you get out of high school and you get an opportunity to get a full ride scholarship, right? That's an opportunity to better your life. And we don't look at it sometimes that way. And we look at, oh, we're playing sports. It's awesome. But no, you get the opportunity to leave the current situation that you are to make your future situation better. And when I got that scholar baller thing, I remember I was like, I didn't want to lose the opportunity to be in college to get good grades and give myself an excuse why didn't I do this. So I took all the help I can, all the tutors I had, all the friendships that came and helped me, and went with it because I think it's just going to improve me and improve everything else. And if I could do it, then you could do it.
And so, just how special has it been just, use your platform, throughout your career, whether it is through the foundation to spreading your message about the learning differences, to just really, be a difference maker to people all around.
Well, it's amazing because, to be honest, I didn't set out to do that. I just set out to be genuine. I think in today's world, you want more genuine people, and all I say is, if I said something or I was able to do something that motivates you, like I'm just pleased. I don't look for thank you letters. I don't look for um, uh, thank you packages. I just want you to be better than what you are. I told a young kid this earlier when I was in Cincinnati. He asked me, he said, "Why are you helping me so much?" I
Mm.
said, "Because I'd rather be part of your legacy more than you're a part of my legacy. Because my legacy is being written, but your legacy is still building. I'd rather help you out through that path. So when you succeed in life, you can look back like this person did it for me. Why can I do it for them?"
Awesome stuff. So, what does the next chapter for Lawrence Guy look like?
We're about to find out in a couple months, right? I love being a dad. I got
Mm.
4 kids. I love it. I spent so much time playing this game. I enjoyed it. They enjoyed it too. I say one thing, best thing about New England is I brought my kids into the stadium.
Wow.
Like RKK was amazing. Bill loves kids. Like he has a great sense of humor that people don't understand about. like amazing sense of humor. I used to hide
Really?
yeah, I used to hide a elf on a shelf in the locker room for like 2 years till the media sold me out. He's like, you see what he did? I was like, God, because he had no idea. Nobody knew. And he probably had his sources because he knows everything, but to hide it everywhere. And it should be always a joke until somebody put it in front of the screen. We're in
Oh,
team meeting. It's on the screen, I'm sitting there in a little place, and he's just staring at it. And we just go through a 2 hour film session. But it's sitting there. And he looked at me and I said, like, oh, it wasn't me. I said I didn't do this one, but he didn't care. It is what it is. So the sense of humor he had, the sense of family he had with them and RKK was amazing. And Donna and community relations was so great to me and my family, where anything we needed when it came to the charity events, giving me the venue, um, helping me bust down the main victims down, finding those resources from there, or saying, "Hey, I want to adopt a school this year. Can you find a good place?" To say, "Yeah, you could take this place, and we'll donate a library there."
mm,
Yeah, like, oh, this is amazing. So that organization itself holds it to another extreme where they want their players to be successful, and especially in the community.
awesome stuff. So it sounds like a lot of good stuff will be in the future, whatever form that takes. But ultimately, you had an impactful ASU career, an impactful NFL career, impact off the community or off the field as well. How do you hope that you're remembered when ASU fans gather at a tailgate or sports bar and your name gets brought up? How do you hope that you're
You
remembered?
know, everybody says that question. You always think about it, right? And they were like, "Oh, how do you want to be remembered?" The thing is to be remembered. It doesn't matter what, like, you want to be remembered. That's why you plant the seed. You build that legacy. It's to be remembered. Because when you're done with this thing, they're like, "Oh yeah, he played this and this." They're like, "Do you know who that is?" And like, "Yes, I do." You are remembered. You might not, everybody might not know how well you played, how many plays you played, how many consecutive games, you tackles, none of that. No, but they know who you are. And I think that's the goal that everybody does when they're playing sports, to have a legacy, to be remembered by people and by peers and by people coming into the league or coming into college. You want to be remembered for being a player and planting the seed at that point.
Well, Lawrence, that's all I got for you. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed our conversation. Such a remarkable story, and love to see what you were doing on the field, but now especially, be tracking what you're doing off the field in the years to come. Thank you.
Oh, thank you for having me. It was fun being here, being in Arizona. I wouldn't wish to do a better place to do a interview.
I'd like to thank Lawrence for coming down to the station to talk to me for this episode. I'd also like to thank Maddie Candiotti and the great Bo Moos for helping set up this interview. Make sure you are subscribed to Speak of the Devils on the podcast platform of your choice for more great sit down series episodes all off season long. And make sure to follow me on all things social media at BDenny29.